You are getting robbed every single time you pull up to a gas pump. And the worst part? It has nothing to do with the price on the sign. The price on the sign is only half the problem. The other half is happening inside your car right now, and every single mechanic, every dealership, every fuel additive company on the planet is praying you never find out about it. I cut my monthly fuel bill almost in half, not with some $40 gadget, not with some premium gas subscription, 5 things, all free. And when I tell you what they are, you are going to be furious that nobody ever told you this before. But here's what I need you to understand first. This isn't about saving a few cents per gallon. At the rate Americans drive right now, the average family is flushing somewhere between $800 and $400 a year straight down the drain because of habits so simple to fix, it's almost criminal. We're talking about a car payment, groceries for 2 months, a real vacation, gone, every single year. And the industry wants it that way. Here's where it gets scary. Back in 1937, a fleet mechanic named Harold Briggs, working for a railroad freight company out of Amarillo, Texas, started keeping a log. Harold wasn't a scientist. He was just a guy who paid attention. He noticed that the locomotives burning the same grade of fuel were getting wildly different outputs depending on a few small operating conditions. Not the fuel, the conditions. He documented it, sent the findings up the chain, and was told to stop keeping that log immediately. His supervisor's exact words, according to Harold's own journal that his granddaughter found decades later, were, "We don't need the railroad buying less fuel. They didn't hide this because it fails. They hid it because it works too well." What Harold discovered in that grimy rail yard in 1937 is the same physics sitting inside your car engine right now, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of them. Let's start with the one that costs you the most money and takes about 4 seconds to fix. Your tire pressure. I know, you've heard this one. You've glossed over it 100 times. But I need you to hear it differently today, because most people are doing it completely wrong, and the difference is not small. Every single PSI your tires drop below the recommended level increases your fuel consumption by about 0.2%. Sounds tiny. It's not. Most people driving right now are running 6 to 8 PSI low on at least one tire. That alone is eating 1.6% of your fuel on the conservative end. But here's the part nobody tells you. The heat cycles your tires go through every single day are constantly dropping that pressure. Your tires lose roughly 1 PSI per month just sitting there. Add cold weather and they drop even faster. Most people check their tires once a year when the light comes on. By then, you've been burning extra fuel for 11 months straight. That money is just gone. Check your tires cold before you drive, first thing in the morning. Once a month minimum. That's 4 minutes a month standing between you and hundreds of dollars a year. But wait, that's not even the biggest one. The way you accelerate is costing you more money than almost anything else combined. And I don't mean you need to drive like a grandma. I mean, there is a specific zone where your engine runs at peak efficiency, and most American drivers spend almost no time in it. When you stomp on the accelerator from a dead stop, your engine dumps a massive surge of extra fuel into the combustion chamber to generate that quick burst of power. It's called an open throttle enrichment cycle, and it is designed for emergencies, not commutes. You are paying for a sprint every single time you leave a traffic light. The fix is simple. Gradual, smooth acceleration. Give yourself about 5 seconds to reach 30 miles per hour from a stop. That's it. You won't notice the difference in your morning commute time. Not even 1 minute over a 10-mile drive. But your engine will notice. Your fuel gauge will notice. Your bank account will absolutely notice. Your grandmother already knew this. She used it every single day. My grandmother called it feathering the pedal. She drove a 1978 Buick Electra, a car that weighed as much as a small building, and she got better mileage than her neighbors with smaller cars. People thought she had a secret fuel system. She just knew how to use the one she had. Here's where it gets interesting. Around 2004, a university engineering team in Michigan ran a controlled fuel consumption test comparing aggressive acceleration versus smooth acceleration on the exact same route with the exact same vehicle. The difference in fuel consumed per trip was 31%. 31, not 3. 31% more fuel was burned by the aggressive driver. The study got very little media coverage. The auto service industry did not rush to share it. Think about why. Every year you don't know this, you lose money. They profit when your problem comes back. Now, here's the third trick. And this one genuinely surprised me when I ran the numbers myself. Engine idling. If you're sitting in a drive-through line, warming up your car for more than 60 seconds in the morning, sitting in a parking lot with the AC running, waiting in a school pickup line, you are burning fuel at 0 miles per gallon. Think about what that means. You're getting literally nothing for what you're paying. A modern fuel-injected engine does not need more than 30 seconds to warm up in almost any weather. That myth about needing to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes comes from carbureted engines that haven't been standard in American cars since the mid-1980s. The industry never bothered to correct it because warm idle time burns fuel. At the molecular level, an idling engine is still running a full combustion cycle hundreds of times per minute. You're igniting fuel, creating heat, pushing pistons, turning a crankshaft, and going absolutely nowhere. If you idle for just 10 minutes a day, conservative for most Americans, that's roughly 60 hours of idling per year. At current fuel prices, that's between $90 and $150 a year in smoke. Literally. Most homeowners never realize this until it's too late. Trick 4. This one is almost embarrassing once you see it. Roof racks, cargo carriers, bike racks. If there's anything sitting on top of your vehicle that you are not actively using right now, you're paying an aerodynamic penalty every single mile. A roof-mounted cargo box increases your drag coefficient so significantly that fuel economy drops between 2 and 25%, depending on the shape and your speed. At highway speeds, it can cost you over half a mile per gallon on a normal sedan. And here's the part that stings. Most people put a cargo box on for one camping trip in July and leave it on until October, sometimes until next July. That thing is sitting on your roof like a money-eating brick and you forgot it was even there. Take it off, right now, before your next drive if you can. If it takes you 5 minutes to install it when you need it, those 5 minutes of effort will pay you back in weeks. And one more thing. This last one changes everything. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of drivers on the road today. Here it is. AC compressor load versus window drag. This is the debate that sounds complicated, but the answer is dead simple once you understand it. Below 45 miles per hour, roll your windows down and turn the AC off. Above 45 miles per hour, windows up, AC on low. That's the crossover point. Below 45 within a minimum pH, open windows create almost no meaningful aerodynamic drag, but running your AC compressor adds a measurable mechanical load to your engine. Above 45 within pH, the drag from open windows exceeds the fuel cost of running the compressor on a low setting. Every engineering study on this points to the same crossover zone. City driving, windows down. Highway, windows up, AC low. That single habit shift can recover 3 to 8% of your fuel economy, depending on your vehicle and climate. Now, here's what makes me genuinely angry about all of this. Not one of these 5 things requires you to buy anything. Not one of them requires a mechanic. Not one of them requires a YouTube advertised fuel pill or a magnetic vortex intake filter or whatever else the industry is pushing this week. These are physics. They've always been physics. They worked in Harold Briggs locomotives in 1937, and they work in your car today. But there is an entire ecosystem built around you not knowing this. Every time your fuel economy underperforms, you go to a shop. Every time you go to a shop, you spend money. Every sponsored fuel additive, every premium gas upsell, every engine cleaning service. All of it exists in the gap between what your car could be doing and what it is doing because of habits. You can change for free in the next 24 hours. They profit when you stay uninformed. That is not a conspiracy. That is just business. And the best thing you can do to opt out of it is exactly what you're doing right now. Learning the things they don't advertise. Tires cold and full. Smooth acceleration out of every stop. Idle for 30 seconds, not 10 minutes. Take the rack off when you're done with it. Windows down in the city. AC low on the highway. That is it. 5 habits, $0, real money back in your pocket starting this week. If you want to stop wasting money on industry lies, subscribe and hit the bell. Every video on this channel is about exactly this. Finding the knowledge that got buried so the people selling you solutions could keep selling. You deserve to know how things actually work. That's what this channel is for. Share this one. Seriously. Every share keeps alive what the industry tried to erase. Someone you know is filling up their car right now with their windows cracked and their roof rack on and their tires 2 psi low, and they have no idea they're being robbed. The next secret opens soon.